What's up, everybody? It's your boy Derek B, and welcome to the Realmhattan Project. I have my fellow Bomb Squad members on the bottom, minus two, and they are sorely missed right now because we really miss them right now. They are currently on assignment. They are currently on assignment. That is Wolfie and Gort. I know they are still with us right now, but we're gonna carry them within us as we do this show. And we got a special guest, and I'm going to actually introduce him first. My man, Dormammu. What's happening, Dormammu?
What am I doing here? This isn't the bat mitzvah. Come on now.
This is right.
Oh, shit.
How y'all doing? How's everybody doing? How you guys doing?
Derek on that one. He started to.
Oh, man.
How's it going, guys?
Trouble early. God,
it's good. It's
Glad
good.
to have you here.
Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me on, man. I'm happy to hop in.
You seemed a bit enthusiastic with some questions earlier this week, so we thought it might be better and easier just bring you on to ask personally. So
a lot less typing if we just bring you on and let you say it. So.
See what happens when you're educated about a subject, people.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, no, and that's
we truly appreciate your enthusiasm. Yeah. God, Lee, we enjoy your enthusiasm. Good. Oh man, because you know what happened, right? I said, EE. So let's go ahead and just type up everything and then put them in the banner. He was like, man, screw it. Let's ask him if he want to be on the show, so we can he's just asking his damn self. So I was like, you know what? That's a better idea.
I had and here's the thing. Wolfie had put up his promo like 2 weeks ago. He was like.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be doing this and put up your questions, and I'm like, I already got 6 written up.
Uh-huh.
So that wasn't me. That was my promo. Don't take my credit from me. That was my
so Chat Squad, if you ever want to be on the show, just write really long fucking questions.
Right.
You gotta say screw it and bring you on here instead. That's the secret to actually getting on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm happy to be here, guys. It makes for a great end of the weekend. Or end of the week, I should say. It's been a long week. I don't know about you guys.
Hey,
I know some of you though are making it a nice weekend. Because Derek, where are you at?
I am currently in Orlando, Florida. Along with my cohort down right below me.
Mm.
And you can't tell from the hotel rooms.
I'm
right, and I know, right?
Like directly that direction, just a few feet.
We are, and oddly enough, I know it looks like we're in the same room, but we're not in the same room. So yeah,
it's above the waist.
No,
and there is 2 beds, but
yeah. So
one for sleeping and one
the room that I'm in right now. I'll get to that when we do the circle around. So, but yo, EE, what's good, man?
Nah, it's been unlike Dormammu, it's been actually a short week. Only had a 4-day work week this week, so just been hanging around the house today. Nothing special came in, no deliveries, no new toys or nothing came in this week. It's just business as usual.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. Nice.
Yeah, sorry, I got nothing exciting right now. So
hey,
I'm not excited for you guys right now. So
yeah,
Ricky, where are you right now?
In Orlando, like at the FCon, few buildings over, I think, from this guy up here. My week went by pretty fast. Worked a lot. Baseball. Boys played 2 games this week. Put in work this week. Got a big win Thursday. And moving into more practice and travel ball. So hanging out with the guys this weekend. Wife and kids are going to come down tomorrow. They've never been to a big con, so we're going to take them to their first big one.
Nice.
Let them walk around the floor and see if they see anything they want, and then I can tell them no because you ain't got no money. But yeah, we're gonna do
all
that.
the way up here just to tell them no.
All the way, dude. I don't live that. Dude, I'm an hour from my house. Like I'll be home.
Still, Look, then when you say no, you're like, fine, I'm going home. You're gonna walk home, right?
That's it. I got a car. Ain't nobody walking, man. I'm a grown ass.
No, I'm talking about the boys.
Oh yeah, they kick rocks. Nah, but looking forward to that. Hanging out with everybody. Man. We got to have dinner tonight with some of the guys from the Realm. I put a picture in the Realm group. have met and talked to a couple more, and some showed up even after we took the picture. You know, I'm no hair can be flex, but I tried to get a picture in there.
I know, man. I appreciate that, man. That was right on time.
I'll try to do tomorrow. I'll try to get a bigger group together. We can get as many Realm people as I can get together and get a nice picture in there for everybody.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, man, I'm just here for tonight, man. I'm kind of excited. A lot of people, like, literally when they saw us here, they were all like, "Yeah, that's right. You guys are having the guest on tonight to talk." And I'm like, "Yep." And I've gotten messages since we've been sitting here from text. "Hey, I'm back in the room. I'm going to be watching." So people that are here are now no longer doing con stuff. They went back to their rooms to be here and watch the show. And we appreciate that.
That is what's up. Yeah, the excitement levels are high here, you know, as it should be. And but it was even more exciting to see everybody when we came in, and you know, just dapping up everybody, hugging everybody, you know, seeing familiar faces and unfamiliar faces that I never met, and you know, got to meet them for the first time. And yeah, that's been really cool so far. So I'm looking forward to the weekend.
So how was your week, real quick, Derek?
The week's been good, man. You know, just to cap it, I'm here. I'm excited. It's been an exciting week. Last weekend I was at New York Comic-Con, had a blast there. And man, I'm telling you, it's been absolutely fabulous. Real quick, and I didn't get a chance to prep this a bit, but I'm gonna try to put it in there now so I can actually show it in here. So as some of you know, your boy had a birthday, and you know, just bringing in 49 this year, and you know, it's been an exciting year, and I got something special.
49 times 5.
Yeah, no, that's how you see. To find out how Derek really is you multiply the number by itself, then you divide that by 2, and then add 3, and you got it perfect.
Yeah, keep it up.
You see the banner? Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I love you too, Ricky.
Anyway. What are you talking about? I love you too, Ricky. I got no control over banners.
Listen, you had birthday.
I had a birthday in September, and it's been, you know, we're on a 2-week cycle on this one, and you know, we don't get a chance to, you know, see each other often as we want to. But I got a special birthday present from my, you know, comrades down here, my fellow Bomb Squad members. Yeah, I'm saying that all night. I'm gonna get on y'all nerves. So if Wolfie can have Wolf Nation, I'm gonna have Bomb Squad.
He can't have that neither. We told him no too.
Yeah, but I'm a card carrying Wolf Nation member too. So, real quick, I wanted to show my birthday gift to everyone. That I wanted to show it to everyone. This is from my fellow cast members, and I really, really, really appreciate this one. This is the Mech Show third party Mobile Suit Gundam, and as some of you know, I'm getting heavy into Gundam as of late, and yeah, and what better way to do it than having my comrades help me get started. And you know, this is a very special piece, man. I put it together, and this is actually just a one set of poses that I did for it. And
are the pictures coming through?
Yeah.
Huh?
All right, just want to make sure the pictures are coming through.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, this is it, man. It's a gorgeous piece, man, and I can't thank y'all enough for this generous gift that you all have given me. And
we did not give you whatever that was, or what that is. Oh my God, what is happening? It's Inception.
That was an Inception.
Did you see all of us inside of ourselves?
And I'm still selling the picture. Okay, yeah,
you're good now.
Okay.
I do want to say one thing about that gift is he sent us pictures of it when it came in, and it was like 3 different multi-sized boxes wrapped up multiple times. I'm like, what in this shit?
Yeah, like, I was like, what is this?
Box. The bicep was in that box. The head was here, but the crown was over here. Like they were all
right.
Whatever that company is, they packed the crap out of that thing.
Yeah, I put that together. Did you? Okay, I was scrolling through it, but did you show it? Did you
Yeah, we
did you
saw
show
we
it?
saw the
EE?
pictures.
Yeah, we saw.
Yeah.
We saw 'em.
Oh, I was
That
still
was awesome.
scrolling through the pics, and I saw that I was not sharing anymore. So okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, but no, thank y'all so much for that, man. I really appreciate it, and yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm going to
Happy
cherish
birthday. We know how to take care of our elders around here.
Oh wow, thank you very much. Yeah, that's
I'm gonna give a quick
that's
shout out as well. My son turns 8 tomorrow. Happy
Oh.
birthday to
Happy birthday, little
happy
Dormammu.
birthday, little Dormammu. Yep.
yeah.
Yep. So
Happy birthday, little Dormammu.
Dormamito. That's
exactly. We had a party yesterday because the weather is just garbage this weekend over here. But I set up an inflatable screens. He got a Switch for his birthday. We had a video gaming party with hot dogs and s'mores on the on setting up campfires. So it was nice. He had a blast.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's
happy
what's up.
birthday.
Yeah, and y'all continue to celebrate all weekend long. You know?
Exactly.
Yes, sir. All right.
Very cool. All right.
All right. Well, ordinarily we do have what's called our collector's showcase. We're gonna go ahead and forego that one.
your birthday present was the showcase.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, well, okay, so we did the showcase without the actual bumper. So anyway. Yeah. But yeah, we got a very special show tonight. As you all know, we got a special guest tonight, and I'm gonna go ahead and introduce him right now. He is Kevin Mc. Okay, going him in too fast. But anyway,
Said right now.
Just sort of
So
popped up, you know. It's
when you said right now,
Yeah.
right now is right now.
right now is
I
we're
said right
past
now
it.
I'm going to introduce him.
Yeah, well,
And,
right now.
But anyway, all right, all the way from Harmony Gold, please welcome our special guest tonight, Mr. Kevin McKeever.
Hey.
Do we have a clap
Thank you,
thing?
thank
Yeah.
you, thank you, everyone. Hello,
Hey.
everyone. It's all good to see you all again. From BotCon a couple months
Yes,
ago.
sir.
And I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you guys taking the patience because just so you know, what you all don't know here watching this or in the chat is that you guys have been, we're talking about this. Oh, let's try to do a date. Let's try to do a date. And it was only when I was doing a convention in Boise that I actually had some free time to actually do this. So I appreciate you guys' patience. I'm really, very excited to be here. So
Thank you for
We're
being
glad
here
you're
with
doing
us at the
it.
Realmhattan
Appreciate you being
Project.
here.
yeah.
And we look forward to this conversation tonight because I think it's going to be a bit juicy and it's also going to be great at the same time. So yeah, Kevin. Just to get into how we met Kevin at BotCon 2023 in New Jersey over the summer. We all had a fabulous time, and we got to meet Kevin. Kevin did 2 panels over that weekend where he talked about Harmony Go and Robotech and everything that they do. It was an outstanding panel.
Thank you.
And we had a lot of fun. It was some nice participation in the panels as well. I'm not just saying that because I was there. I'm not trying to gas it up or anything. It was genuinely pretty cool. So yeah, and Kevin is going to get into, for those of you all that were there that are in the chat squad right now, and you all actually were there for the panel, you already know how this whole thing, how it all unfolded. So yeah, I'm very excited for Kevin coming out tonight and having a discussion with us about Harmony Gold, about Robotech, and about KISS Concepts and all that. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So Kevin,
yes,
tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself and tell us about what you do at Harmony Gold.
Well, I handle marketing for the Robotech franchise, and some of the primary things that I do are running the Robotech convention tour, running the panels at the conventions, also running the Robotech social media, also as being part of the marketing. And at Harmony Gold, you learn you wear many, many hats. Is that I'm sort of like this sort of bright, shiny object lure where I can go out there and sort of bring in new licensing and be sort of like a person-to-person business contact. A lot of people don't know this, but to say, oh, they just go to the conventions, they just talk. Well, we do go to the conventions and we do talk, but also we do a lot of business at the shows. I can't even begin to tell you, and we'll get in. I'll tell you the Kids Concept story a little later on. Is a good example of that. I'm sure you guys remember that. I talked about that at the show.
Yep.
But it was, we do a lot of business at the shows, whether we're at BotCon, whether at New York Comic Con or Anime Expo or San Diego Comic Con or at the Dallas Fan Expo. We do a tremendous amount of business at the shows. So I'm sort of I generate interest in that sort of thing. And people come up to me and say, well, I didn't know who to talk to. Kevin, who do I talk to? Great. Here's my card. Let's talk. Let's do a deal. Let's get this done. So that's kind of what I do. I wear many, many hats at that, but pretty much my primary job is the marketing aspect. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. So with that being said, and I want to get into some of the things that you talked about at the panel at BotCon. In addition, we did a post in our Realm group where we asked our members if they had any particular questions, and we wanted to take the opportunity to go over those questions and have you answer them if possible. If you can't answer them, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you can answer them, please go into it as much as you can.
I'm going to warn you all now.
Mhm.
It's Tommy Yoon said it the best. He once said it to someone else. He said, Kevin's job is to say unpopular things.
There you go.
That's my job. So
there it is.
All right.
No, unpopular and unfiltered. So,
there you go.
Well, we at the Realmhattan Project always sponsor unfiltered things. So yeah, we'll go ahead and
that's how I got the job.
Yeah. So so yes, indeed.
Middle name is unfiltered.
I'm gonna put one of the questions up we got now.
All right, let's go for it.
They're already on some of the chat squad too.
I know. I can't get everybody's question at the same time, people. All right.
So chat squad, we're going to get to your questions as quickly as we can, but we're going to go through the pre-done questions that we had got submitted to us already. First, we're going to go through those, and also our Robotech super fan down here, Dormammu, is going to go ahead because he wrote a freaking book of questions. This book that you're about to get, you're gonna hear from Dormammu directly, and that's why we wanted to have him on the show.
No hot spotlights. It's all just
he's legit super fan questions.
Yes, indeed. But yeah,
so our first question is from Paul C. Harmony Gold has been much more visible and interactive recently. BotCon and now RHP being two notable examples. Has this been a conscious effort to have a different approach? What has changed?
Okay, can I answer that? Or?
Go.
Yeah. These are questions for you. Yeah.
These are for you. These are for you.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Well, we've been interactive. The Robotech Convention Tour in its modern incarnation has been active since 2005. So when I came to Harmony Gold in 2004, and I remember, I said, look, guys, we have to do conventions outside of Southern California. And I was very adamant about that. And everyone's like, well, whatever you want to do, Kev, but I don't think that's going to happen. And sure enough, in 2005, we launched the modern version of the Robotech Convention Tour was launched. We launched at CootyCon St. Louis, and it took off from there. So we've always been interactive. I'm very adamant about making sure there's Q&A. I'm sure we all remember when during the pandemic, we saw conventions doing things online, and while they were great, everyone realized something. You know what? Watching a Zoom call is really boring because you can't ask questions, you can't get follow-up, you can't get that part of going to the convention panels with the interactive experience. So we've been out and about for almost 20 years now. And so to the gentleman who's asking, we've been more visible and interactive recently. This was our first BotCon ever done. So, and I was really excited to work this. Robbie Musso, who helped set this up with our good friend Hanny, made sure this all happened. And it was a great time to start interacting. So to answer your question, Paul, nothing's really changed so much as we're starting to go into some different areas that we haven't done before. Like example, Harmony Gold is at BotCon, a Transformers convention. That's sort of a first. Just a couple years ago, we were at VoltCon, the Voltron convention. So we try to find different ways to reach fans. Go back a little further back in time. Back in 2006, we brought Robotech the Shadow Chronicles to film festivals.
Mm.
And you wonder what the critics said? They said, oh, those film festival people, they won't like it. They won't like it. And sure enough, instead, they loved it. And all of a sudden, film festivals started calling us, saying, how do I get Robotech to screen at our film festival? And it was through that led us to Fathom Events. So, which in turn introduced Fathom Events to the world of anime. Yeah. So there's a lot of ways. We're always looking for ways to reach fans in different ways beyond just doing conventions. You know, at first it was just conventions in Southern California, then it was just conventions in general, then we started doing film festivals, and then we started doing other things as well. So, you know, my door is always open to any convention that wants to talk. You know, we'll see if we can work out a deal. But I try to be interactive. We try to work out different ways. I can't go into it too much just yet, but we're going to start working on ways to be more interactive on social media with special Twitter spaces and Facebook videos where fans can interact with me in real time, and then more importantly, ask follow-up questions like we're doing now. So I can't go into it too much yet, but we are working on that, where we're going to have spaces, and you know there will be a small fee required to do it because we have to protect certain things, but we are working on that right now. So
okay, all right,
yeah,
something to look forward to.
Yeah,
yes, indeed.
Great question, Paul. By the way, yes, thank you.
Thanks, Paul. And our next question.
You want to grab one from the chat right now?
Yes, we'll go ahead and grab.
Well, I'll start from the top.
Yeah, start with the neighbor. I think he had the first one. Let me scroll up and just make sure.
I got it. Yeah, he was the first one.
Okay, all right. Okay, so when are we going to get a live action Robotech movie, Kevin?
All right, yeah, I know. This was brought up at BotCon, you know, and everyone wanted to know, you know, let me explain where the Robotech movie is and what's set up. We're set up at Sony Pictures. Sony's a great partner. We have two awesome producers, Gianni Nunari and Mark Canton, who produced 300. We also have the writers of Iron Man and the director of Hawkeye on Disney Plus, who is attached as a director. Now, everyone's saying, what's going on? You know, we had the writer's strike. We also have the SAG strike still ongoing. Yep. Well, the writer's strike's resolved, so we can continue development, but right now, nothing else can happen at the moment because the SAG strike is still ongoing. And folks, it's not just us. All of Hollywood is shut down.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I know that's more of a clinical term, but folks, you have no idea the pain the industry is going through. So many people have been out of work for nearly half a year. And you're seeing people lose their homes, their livelihoods, everything. And it's horrible what's happening. And just to be clear, we have friends on both sides of the picket lines. Okay. So we're not taking a side here, but you know, folks, nothing can happen until the SAG strike is resolved. Okay. And it's not just people say, oh, that's just Harmony Gold. No, folks, it's not just us. It's everything. Film, television, it's all shut down right now. So, so right now, until the SAG strike is resolved, there's not much more I can tell you beyond that.
Gotcha.
All right.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And just so you'll know, Rusty Mechanic says keep Michael Bay away from it. So
we have Rice Davies, who's worked a wonderful job on Hawkeye. We're really excited to be working with him. And you know, we have two great producers, Mark Kent and Gianni Nunari, who produced 300, and we also have the writers of the original 2008 Iron Man as doing our script. So I mean, we have a really good team. Sony is very, very supportive of us.
Are you able to say how far into the process it was before all the strike stuff happened, or is it still very pre everything?
Sony's asked us just to simply repeat what we've done.
We got you.
It's
fine.
Sony understands we have to interact with fans. We have to fans ask these type of questions, but we have to be very, very vague
vague about it. Yeah.
That's where you ironically get kind of into proprietary information. So
gotcha. All right. Okay. Did any of you all have any? Ricky, you have anything?
Not yet. I mean, let's get through some of these chat and fan questions first before we have him delve into some stories that I know we're all going to want to hear about. So,
all right,
got a question here from Matt Hurd.
Yeah.
Where do I start with Robotech, and where can I get it? Where can I view it?
A great question, Matt. It's very simple. Start with episode 1, and you can watch it on Crunchyroll right now. Robotech is streaming worldwide on Crunchyroll, excluding Japan, and you just start with episode 1, you're going to see Robotech, even though it's nearly a 40-year-old show, it was built for streaming and binge watching. So just start with episode 1, follow it from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Let's grab another one from the chat.
I think John A.
John.
Yeah, John.
We got one from John A. Birkenmeyer. Hope I said that last name right. So many properties have done so much on the animation side. Which has Robotech failed to give us new Why has Robotech failed to give us new content? Couldn't HG support a new? Couldn't Harmony Gold support a new Sentinels animated series? Maybe complete the saga.
John, this is a great question. I'm glad you brought this up. Because you're seeing right now. This is going to be a larger answer than I think people realize. What you're seeing right now, and you're seeing all these other properties just sort of reboot themselves, and with less than stellar results, and they're just cranking out stuff, but that was not funded by demand. That was funded by debt. A lot of people don't know this. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. One of the big reasons why the strikes happened were because the studio spent billions. I'm not kidding you, folks. Billions of dollars and went deep into debt. And now, guess what? As interest rates are rising and the era of quantitative easing fueled venture capital is coming to an end, you're seeing the studio starting to cut back on these streaming things. And because what's sort of what no one wants to talk about is a lot of this content no one's watching.
Okay.
And that's the thing too. But there's that larger issue going to the first part. You see all this other stuff, but folks, you have to understand what's driving that. But then there's another issue too with us is that Sony came to us and said, hey, look, we know fans want new animated content. We know fans are really asking about this. And Harmony Gold, we were actively working on trying to get financing and distribution in place. But then Sony told us, they said, look, we need you to stop and hold off. Because Sony, and I'll explain this in further detail, has been a bit active in the anime world recently.
Yes, they have been.
Sony
Spider-Man.
No. We're talking about Sony buying Funimation in 2017.
Oh, okay.
And then Sony bought Crunchyroll for like $1.2 billion in late 20, early 2021. I don't have the exact date in front of me. Sony came to us and said, hey, look, we've bought these 2 distribution platforms. It's going to take some time for them to merge.
Gotcha.
We need you to hold off while we do this merger. And folks, people have asked me, they said, well, Kevin, come on, it's been a while. But folks, it's not just, you just don't press a button and these 2 companies merge. It takes a while to take these elements and make them merge cohesively together. You're seeing that now. Robotech's on Crunchyroll. You're starting to see the Funimation brand is being phased out. The Robotech store has now migrated to the Crunchyroll store. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and Sony told us, hey, look, we need you to hold off. We know fans want new anime content. We need you to hold off while we do this, because Sony's been doing a larger process as making themselves a player in the anime space. And we said, look, Sony, you've been good to us. We understand. We get that, and so we had to sort of put some stuff on the back burner, namely the animated projects, while we're doing this. But there are several animated projects we want to make. I'm here to tell you. And this idea that we don't want to make anime, or the idea that people approach us and say, "Oh, Harmony Gold doesn't want to do it. They don't do anything with the property." I'm sorry, that's wrong. That is just, people don't come to our panels. You guys were at my panel. You saw all the new stuff we were revealing at the panels. We're doing quite a lot. We have a new comic series. We have a lot of other things. But anime requires a lot of time, a lot of effort, yes, and believe it or not, folks, a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, some of those sort of things you see. Oh, anime only costs $150,000 an episode. No, it doesn't. No, not the quotes that we get from the studios. It's very, very different. So, folks, there's a lot going on. As I like to say, it's show business with an emphasis on business. And, one of the reasons why Harmony Gold has been around for 40 years, yeah, we've been around for 40 years, and Robotech's going to be approaching its 40th anniversary too, is because we know to make sure Robotech works as a viable business, and you're going to see this as the months go on in the future here, things are going to happen. You're going to start seeing cutbacks and a lot of bad stuff happening. This sort of streaming era boom we're in is coming to an end, and it's not going to be pretty. But Harmony Gold wants to make sure we're in the right place at the right time with the right people. Folks, people have come to us many times just saying, just sign a deal, just get it out there, and those companies they say they sign with are now no longer exist. That's not good. That doesn't benefit Robotech. It doesn't benefit anybody. So we make sure we do our deals right. We make sure we work with Sony, and Sony's a great partner, and we want to make sure they're happy, and because they support us and we support them. So I know it's frustrating. I know that's probably more information you ever thought possible, but that's only really more like a very thumbnail sketch of the larger sort of corporate issues we have to deal with. So,
Okay. All right.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question. Good question.
There's no such thing as too much information. That's people.
Too much is never enough. That's Billy Idol.
Exactly.
That's it. Because as much as you're telling us, there's still more we need to learn and know.
Yes.
So I mean,
well, people. I'm glad you brought this up, E, because this is people are shocked to find out what it takes to make anime. It's not just you press a button, snap your fingers, and
Right.
You get this anime that comes out. It takes a lot to make anime in Japan, and there's a lot of issues involved that people are just simply not aware of. I mean, this actually came up at BotCon during some of the questions too. I'm sure you guys can remember that. So there's a lot out there, and sadly, and I'll be perfectly honest and blunt, a lot of the reporting on the Robotech franchise has not been accurate. I won't say any names. I won't say any websites, and I won't say the name or whichever, but a lot of it has not been accurate, and you guys saw this once again. The fans were asking really good questions about that sort of mutual thing we all have.
Yes.
They were sort of surprised, like, whoa, wait a minute, that's what's happening? Oh my gosh, that's what it's like. Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of misinformation, and now you're here telling us bluntly. Like a lot of times, it was the quietness before this recent resurgence of y'all being very open and talking to us. There's a lot of blank spot there, and that's when people jump in and start coming up with all these different crazy theories. And
and
now you're out here fixing it, which is great.
Right, and there's no. And actually, Ricky, I'm glad you brought this up because there's these huge gaps. We all agree, right? There's these huge gaps, and people have filled in the blanks, right? Remember, how many times did you hear those anime insiders say Harmony Gold and Robotech will be dead in 2021?
Yeah, well, here we are, 2023.
Here we are, 2023, and guess what? It's not.
Everybody, to be honest, everybody thought Harmony Gold was going to be bankrupt back in 2007, but
you know what?
Here we are now.
I heard that back in 2004 when I first came on Harmony Gold.
Right.
And even the early internet, I heard that back in 1994. So you might understand, ladies and gentlemen, why I'm a little bit skeptical.
30 years later, I think that guy was wrong in 1994.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
But Ricky, going back to your point, Ricky, this is a really good one. I'm glad you brought this up. Is that people are filling in the blanks, not with really no real knowledge of what is actually happening, and that's the key thing. And Ricky, I'm glad you brought that up. And much of it has turned out to be spectacularly wrong.
Yeah. That seems to be pretty prevalent, not only here, but like a lot of us are collectors in the collecting community, and everybody has their own theory on what this should be and what that should be, and how much this costs to make, and companies are charging. There's always a lot of misinformation out there that
it's a lot of speculation.
Being presented as fact.
That's fact. That's the problem. That's the fact.
Like we see it, we see it every day in the communities that we're being involved in this community, and the things that we collect, and the fandoms for each and everything, whether it's Transformers or whatever. People have their own opinions. They say, "Oh, well, no, this is what it is, and this is what it is," and in the end, none of us know. None of us know. We don't know really.
Right. And going a little further, EE, and talking with Ricky and Dermo and Derek, is that we're one of the few lucky ones. We can actually we have the right, the ability to talk about this. A lot of companies can't.
Yeah.
We try to be as interactive and open as we can. Now, of course,
there's always
guys mentioned this when we started. You can't, because of certain legal things, there's certain things we can't talk about because of legal issues, and of course, but we try to make every effort to be out there. But there are a lot of companies who can't. do it.
Right.
I mean, I've had people.
So-
God, I wish I could do that. I wish I could take Q&A like you take, Kev, but we can't do it because our legal team won't let us, or publicly traded, or both. So.
Now, is there a deeper reason to that? I mean, I know we all know about the legal stuff, that
Right.
happens in any company.
Right.
But is there an even deeper reason for that?
You have to understand that particularly now with a lot of the consolidation that's going on, Harmony Gold is a privately owned company. People always ask us, can I buy Harmony Gold stock? The answer is sadly no. You can't, because we're privately held.
Publicly traded, yeah.
Right. We're not publicly traded, but a publicly traded company is different. They have to be very, very careful in what they say.
Yep.
You might remember a couple years ago, Elon Musk, he tweeted out something that he was going to, take Tesla private, and it caused an explode. It caused chaos into its stock. Even though people, even though that's not what happened, even though you just sort of said something like that, you got to be really, really careful when you're a corporate officer or even a corporate representative and you're saying things for publicly traded companies, because that can move the stock price. Mm-hmm. And the SEC, which, believe it or not, folks, does a lot of regulation of this stuff, they can come down hard on you, and that's not good. And that can also lead to angry shareholders, which is even worse. Yep. So. But even going back to us, like, we're a privately held company. When I came to BotCon, I talked to legal. I said, look, I know I'm going to get asked this question and about the mutual cousin we have. Yep. And, about those things. Here's what I want to say. Is this okay to say this? We're not going to get into trouble. And legal, we had a long conversation, walked me right through, and we did it. And once again, you guys got great information. But, still, that required a level of vetting to make sure we weren't going to say something that caused a problem. So
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know, and there's a deeper discussion that I want to get into in regards to the legal situations that happened with Harmony Gold in the past. But Dormammu, I wanted you to get a chance to ask your question that you had, because you had to actually.
Hold on. We might want to take a 5-minute break. Let Mr. Kevin get some water.
I have my diet soda right here. So
okay, get ready, because Dormammu's got it for you.
Go for it. Go for it.
So I'm glad you've discussed all this, because it's helped me kind of make sure to. I had a list of questions. They're based on myself as a fan. I've been watching anime for a couple decades now. But you mentioned about the partnership with Fathom Events, and of course streaming through Crunchyroll, and I'm sticking to the properties that I know have been Harmony Gold properties from the day when I would stick a VHS tape in and the logo would come up. So some of that involves some of the older series like Mospita or Southern Cross, where I know if you're bringing them to a theater or you're bringing Robotech onto the screen or you're doing streaming, like, there's always that question of, well, is there going to be, because everybody's got, now we've evolved the TV into something that is 4K in your face. I mean, do you know of, and again, I know we're doing this from a marketing perspective, but do you know if there's any plans on the horizon for things like higher quality remasters or remastered releases for at-home viewers for those older Robotech series? Because
this is a great question. I'm glad you brought this up. So let me knock down answer it in multiple parts. Mm-hmm. Number one, Macross, Southern Cross, and Mospita, the 3 Japanese animated shows that make up Robotech, the masters are 16 millimeter film reels.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that, but a lot of the anime that aired back in the 1980s on television was done off 16 millimeter film chains.
I remember this because that's yeah, especially when I am very old school, so I would get the old school subtitled VHSs from the fan dubs and fan subs. So yeah.
So now we recently, with our partnership with Crunchyroll, we have released all 85 episodes of Robotech in HD on both Blu-ray and it's streaming on Crunchyroll. So you watch on Crunchyroll now, it's streaming in HD. And if you buy the new Blu-rays, those are in HD as well. But keep in mind, though, you're doing it off 16 millimeter film reels. And understand, too, that some of the film reels were not in good condition, to be perfectly honest with you. So now jumping back over to Fathom, you brought this up, and I'm glad you did, because we had a long talk with them about this. When we screened Shadow Chronicles through them in 2007, we actually ran a clip from the new generation or Mospeeda segment in the standard def on the big screen through Fathom. It didn't look that bad, but that's like saying, oh well, only 3 rooms of your house caught on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
right.
I mean, it wasn't something you could like for a brief clip, you could get away with it, but you couldn't show it. You couldn't show it in the standard def. You just could not do it. And Fathom agreed. We talked. We had a long talk about this with them. We agreed with that. Now that we have it in HD, we have the capability in HD. The question is just finding a right way to screen it. And find other ways to reach out to it. We have to remember, for many, many, many years, fans were asking, when's Robotech coming out in HD? When Robotech's coming out in HD? Now it's out on HD. So we have to sort of run through that cycle. And that's actually a longer cycle than people realize, because Robotech's a very good seller. It's a flagship title for Crunchyroll. So, so once again, we all want to get the original 3 series, Macross, Southern Cross, Mospeeda, released in HD as well, because we know there is a market for that. It's key is finding the right way to reach that market in a cost. Once again, show business, some business in a cost-effective manner. That's the key thing, because people say, well, the 3 shows were released on HD in Japan, but at $500 a pop, that's not going to go over well here. That might work in Japan. That works in Japan, but doesn't work here. People are going to balk at it. Yeah, go ahead.
And I get that it's time consuming, especially with doing any type of work on that older 16 millimeter, trying to do transfers, trying to find the best quality, it's years. It's not just it's not just a snap your fingers kind of thing. You can't just pump it into a computer, because there's a lot of time involved with trying to find the best quality to make that occur.
We went into the Harmony Gold vaults and got the 16 millimeter film reels. We actually have a video that we show at the conventions where we go into the vault. We show the actual episode 1 of Mospeeda film reel. That's what Tatsunoko gave us. So, I mean, Crunchyroll took that and had to make a new transfer off of it. And it was not easy to do. Yeah. Whereas the 35 millimeter film is different and oftentimes has better quality just to be right out of the gate. So, you have to remember when a lot of these shows were made, no one was thinking, oh my God, 40 years later, people are going to want the most high definition thing of this possibly. That's not what people were thinking.
And that kind of leads to the next question, because again, this is where I grew up on these series. Captain Harlock and the Queen Millennia series, especially as a separate, because I know that they were combined at a certain point to make kind of one singular series, but there's pieces that were missing from it. So my question was basically, are there any plans to eventually release the series individually or perhaps as a set? And you did mention that there have been some events where you've shown the Harmony Gold series and just, shown those pieces. And so that was my question, was basically, is there any plans to kind of re-release those?
Well, this is going to be a sad thing. I'm going to depress everybody with this, but Harmony Gold does not have the rights to those shows anymore.
Really?
Yes, they reverted back to the Japanese rights holders, and the Japanese have been doing different deals with them. So Harmony Gold does not have the rights to release them.
Okay.
So that was, again, it's business. I mean, and that still, I mean, understand, we're not upset, and that's just business, and it's great because there's other Harlocks getting out there, which is great. Always a great show, but it's Harmony Gold. Just people have asked us, what about Captain Harlock and the Queen of 1,000 Years? What happened to it? And why aren't you releasing it? I want to buy it. Like, we can't release it because we do not have the right to release it.
Gotcha.
That's there. It is. It's just
Yeah.
That's the answer. That's the answer, sadly. So
Now
Oh.
the way you just stated that made me like in my head. I was like, you can tell that like you have like a love, like it's you're sad that you lost the rights to it, but you're happy to still see that it's doing well and people still receive it. It's that's pretty cool to hear that, because a lot of people are like, oh, we don't own the rights, screw them, we don't care about them anymore.
Well,
but you didn't.
Well,
I didn't come across at all. It's not, you sound like a fan talking about I miss it, but I'm glad it's doing good.
But Ricky, I'm glad you brought this up, because people ask this occasionally to me, like, well, Kevin, there's the Robotech heyday. What do you think about it now? Robotech's only a small component of this larger industry. I think it's better now than it was then.
More focused.
Because now we have a whole distribution system.
Mm-hmm.
When Harmony Gold released Robotech back in 1985, it did not, the distribution system we all enjoy today did not exist. Mm-hmm. People don't. You have a whole bunch of fans who've grown up with streaming, which is great, and this is not criticism. It's more of an observation. A bunch of fans who've grown up with this, thinking that's how it's always been, and it's not. When you watched anime, or you watched Transformers, since we're on a Transformers panel, or Voltron, or Robotech, you were at the mercy of a program director. Mm-hmm. And it usually was he, decided what was shown when it was shown. Mm-hmm. And if that guy felt that, hey, look, if I put the GoBots at 4:30 mm-hmm. and move Robotech to 4:30 in the afternoon and Robotech at 4 in the morning, that's what happened. You had no control over it. Yeah. Today, you have much more control over it. So going back to what you're saying, it's great. Now Harlock can be seen by more people, because there are people out there who can take really good care of it. And it helps. And believe it or not, all this anime helps Robotech too, because so many people who were not born when Robotech came out are hearing about it. I hear about this Robotech thing. It's this controversy and all this other stuff. I have to go check it out because I have to see it for myself.
Mm-hmm. And then
why is everyone still talking about this 40-year-old show? Yeah,
right.
And then they come back and they come into our, they come in and they, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And wow, this is pretty cool. And and it's sort of an interesting sort of almost like backsliding a fan where you have kids who were not around when Robotech first came out in its syndication debut in 1985 are discovering it because this is Robotech thing on Crunchyroll. Let's go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And, it's again, having Harlock and having Voltron and having, all this other anime that will simply not be able to be seen by many, many people. I mean, this is actually better now than it was to me. Better now it was then, not just for Robotech, but for the anime industry in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these young kids these days, they binge it. We lived it.
Yeah,
exactly.
But that's how. But that speaks to the commitment that we've all had with the content that we had growing up, because we didn't get the opportunity to binge it unless we taped it on VHS and then we watched it consistently that way. We were at the mercy, like you said, of a program director that chose. Had the lineup throughout the day, and that was Monday through Friday, of course, and then you also had Saturday mornings. And there was we watched the entire. You get to sit down and watch the entire series, and then you watch it. You got to wait the next week to watch the part 2 or the part 3, or if it's a 5-part series. Sometimes you'll get. I mean, well, Transformers actually there's a couple of cartoons that when they did a 5-part series, like Transformers, G.I. Joe, Robotics, they had 5 episodes and it was Monday through Friday.
Right. Yeah. The original G.I. Joe aired as like a miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. For 5 days, and then
like
a test run, and then would disappear, and then they made the second one, the third one, then they went to the 5-day a week constant, in 86 or 85, excuse me.
Yeah.
So,
I say that to say this because it's. I'm sorry. I say that to say this because it's because kids nowadays when they watch say for example the Disney Plus shows, you got to watch one episode every week, and they get frustrated because they got to wait their way.
That's what we did.
I hope this guy's not joking. That would be awesome if he actually still had those on beta.
That would be pretty awesome.
We're actually selling the original Macross pilot beta tape in the Crunchyroll store right now.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
You heard it here, folks. Go
Robotech
get it.
did
How
make
much
its
is
debut
that?
on beta. He is not, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Wow.
awesome.
that's what's up. Ricky, go ahead.
You had mentioned a couple things along the way. Talking about it's still a private company, not a public company. And it made me think, in terms of fish in the pond, then that would be a smaller versus a larger fish. And of course, we knew you were coming on. We're doing homework. We're talking to each other. We're trying to learn stuff, figure out how we want to ask questions. EE had brought up some stuff that Harmony Gold was responsible for and behind, like different movies and TV shows and stuff like that. And it made me want to ask you, can you give us, like, off top of your head, not written in stone, like a quick rundown of the history of Harmony Gold, where you came from, where you're at now, like touch on some of the stuff that y'all made along the way besides
Actually,
just Robotech.
people ask us, what else has Harmony Gold done? And people are shocked when I mention, we did Around the World 80 Days starring Pierce Brosnan. We also did the miniseries Shaka Zulu.
That's the one that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Shaka is awesome. Shaka is awesome. And it's on HD now, and Shaka still rocks. And fans are shocked when they find, wait, you did Shaka Zulu? I love Shaka Zulu. And you have to remember, too, Frank Agrama, our late chairman, who's, God, it's so sad that he's no longer with us. But, Frank made that series. He helped get that series funded through the syndication market, when normally big networks like ABC, NBC, CBS, they would do those miniseries. But Frank got that funded through the syndication market, which is a tremendous, tremendous triumph. Once again, here's a photo of Frank, our chairman. And, fans are shocked. Well, I mentioned Shaka Zulu. I'll have fans to stop and go, oh my God, I love Shaka Zulu. And Shaka's great. It's awesome. Yeah. It's an incredible miniseries, a really good sort of gateway into a really very, very cool historical figure that, which is really cool. It's a good gateway to get into. And people love Shaka, and people are discovering Shaka Zulu even today. We do Around the World in 80 Days with Pierce Brosnan. We sell, there's a lot of what Harmony Gold did in the 90s was it would take shows from the studios and sell them in Europe. Okay. So like Baywatch or like movies like Top Gun, and sell them in Europe. And that's another thing Harmony Gold would do as well. Frank would buy their foreign rights and sell them.
Y'all were big into international distribution.
Yeah.
I remember that very well.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, though. Shaka Zulu, Around the World in 80 Days. We did a lot of Sherlock Holmes movies, which actually, if you listen really closely on some of them, you'll hear some Robotech music cues were used in them.
Is that right?
Yeah. Because you're like, well, they needed some music. Hey, we own the Robotech music. Let's use that. So, so you can find them. So we did a lot of live action type of stuff. You have to remember, though, that the syndicated television market was like very robust starting in the mid 1980s up until the early 1990s. Remember, Star Trek was relaunched by Paramount, not on a network, not on a streamer. It was relaunched as a TV series through first run syndication in 1987 with Next Generation, because that's how strong the market was. And that's Paramount backing it. We took the bigger fish, and here we are, the smaller little fish, and we're still making a lot of good stuff. So
that's awesome.
Hopefully that answered your question, Ricky.
Yeah. Oh, it did. It was just, I wanted you to touch on, and you went almost immediately to it, because when EE was like running down some of the stuff y'all did, and as soon as he said Shaka Zulu, like I think all our jaws hit the floor. I'm like, are you serious? The Robotech people did Shaka Zulu? That's wild.
Yeah, Shaka. Yeah, Shaka's great. I mean, it's a great show. It really was. So it's good. It's always great too when they'll ask you that, and you go Shaka Zulu. People go, oh my God, I love Shaka. Shaka's awesome. And it's just So
that's cool. I appreciate you telling us that. Yeah.
All right, so I have another question here before we get back to Dormammu with some of his other questions.
Yeah,
I think
he's not even a tenth of the way.
Please.
Will Tie In Within be continuing the Comico and Sentinel reprints from Samuel Hahn?
Titan has launched a new comic series, Robotech Rick Hunter, which just had its second issue, made its debut last week. Titan just got the license back, so they're launching the new series. But Titan's goal is eventually to release all the back catalog of Robotech comics out to the fans. So I don't have any concrete information on when that would restart, but that is one of the goals. So
gotcha. Awesome.
And of course, the new comic series is out now. The second issue just came out last week. So
go pick them up, because you pick up the new ones. It helps them drive the old ones too. So
yes,
go get
exactly.
them.
Yep.
Yeah, and put up John Berkemeyer
Yeah,
put up a really good question. Why don't you go put that one up too? Because that would have been something I would ask as well.
The Robotech novels and art books from the 80s have been long out of print.
The artwork was so fantastic from even as far back as 2002, and so I remember those art books as well.
Yeah.
I don't think I have mine. I think mine fell apart at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah. We read them so much they fall apart. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he asked, like, they've been out of print for a while. I mean, are there any plans to maybe do a new, like, a re-release of them, or like an archive?
I have some excellent news for you, John. First, a little back story here. The Robotech Art 1, the company called Starblaze went out of business. We have no idea where the original proofs and stuff like that went. So our friends at Udon came in and decided to release 3 new art books. One for Macross, one for Southern Cross, and one for the new generation in Mosquito. And they're all out now. You can buy them all now, and it's the size. Each book is the size of Robotech Art 1, but it focuses on each individual segment of Robotech, and it's every piece of artwork we could get.
That's awesome.
And it's hardcover,
awesome.
and I've seen they're outstanding. They're really good. Like, yeah, this is the cover of Robotech Rick Hunter issue 2, but if you go to the Udon store, or if you go to Udon, the Udon store, or some of the other places, you can see the new Robotech, what's called the Robotech Visual Archives. And they're out. They are out right now. They are available, but they're selling out very fast. So I suggest you buy them soon before they all completely sell out.
Got a link for us that we
That's
can pull
awesome. It's okay. Look, can you spell Udon off the top of your head to let the people know how to look it up?
udon.com.
There you go.
Udon. UDON.
We'll
Go to
do that.
Udon store. Google
That's
Udon
fantastic.
store.
That is fantastic news.
Yeah. Jay had a
Got
quick
another
one.
question here from Jay Geeter. Any plans for a new Robotech video game? I love playing Robotech Battle Cry on the PS2.
Yes. So a little video game news for you guys. Robotech is now available on the Nintendo Switch.
Whoop, whoop.
So you can get that right now on Nintendo Switch for $9.99. The Robotech games, we work with this company called Sony, who has a little tiny involvement in video games. Yeah, and Jamie Stevens, who runs the merchandising over at Sony, she's very pro Robotech and very awesome to work with. And she said, I know you guys want video games, but I want to make sure there's a good video game. So Sony, you have to go to Sony to get approval, and Sony has a very, very high bar. They don't want a substandard game out in the market.
Mm-mm.
So that's the thing. We're looking into trying to get the older games re-released on Steam, because the Robotech on Nintendo Switch did very well. But that's all the information I can give for you right now. So
Yeah, and that actually was going to
get a
lead
Switch
into
and buy it.
Yeah, that actually was going to be another question I was going to ask, was because one of my favorite games when I was younger was like the Mech Warrior, and I was going to ask if there was any, like, maybe mobile games that were planned that were going to be like Warhammer Mech adjacent, or have any of those properties tied in. Because I know, some of the bigger things we see, some of the bigger properties, especially with whether it's any of the big studios, they like their tie-ins. Mm-hmm. So it was going to be one of the questions I was going to ask, was like, what plans, especially from a marketing perspective, what plans are there for getting out there on, mobile and, any other entertainment systems for that? And you pretty much answered that.
Yeah, that came from Sony directly. I mean, Sony told, unlike the previous studio we worked with that shall remain nameless, Sony is very pro Robotech, and they said you have a mandate. Jamie said it. She said it. She told us. She said, you have a mandate from me to make as much Robotech merchandise, but when it comes to video games, you got to talk to us. And we said, Jamie, we agree. So, and once again, as before, Sony has that little tiny involvement in video games. So
just just like a piggyback off of that real quick on the video game, because Seven is asking for more information. The Switch game he's saying, is it only DLC or is it just a upgrade of the Battle Cry game? You ported that up to the Switch.
Well, it's not an upgrade of Battle Cry. Battle Cry was for the PS2.
Right.
But
so it's a whole new game on the Switch?
No, it is a remaster of the Game Boy Advance.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Awesome.
So we did a really nice remaster of it, and
so that's going to be that's on an emulator somewhere then.
Well, actually, Coleco,
it's on the Switch.
Coleco,
it's on the Switch, so yeah.
No,
okay.
The upgraded version is on Switch, but Coleco took the Game Boy Advance and made remember the little mini arcade games from the 1980s? Yeah. Coleco made a limited run of them where you could play the original game as a little mini arcade.
So now you're gonna make all those collectors go get on eBay in the middle of the show to try to find
trust me. Get your credit card ready.
Oh my god! Like I'm gonna look awesome. When I go to bid, I'm gonna be like, look, I know the guy from Harmony Gold. Can I get a discount? Like, I know Kevin. It's cool. Give me some.
I know. Our connections, you know.
All right. So I have another question here from Matt Hurd. Any plans to bring back the Robotech RPG?
Yes. Nice. Yes. First off, we have a new license. The old license has expired. That's no more. We have a new license. Our good friends at Strange Machine Games have created a new Robotech role-playing game, the Macross Saga. It's a whole new system with awesome new artwork. It's out right now. Nice. You can also, they're going to do, that covers the Macross Saga. They are finishing up a new role-playing game that will cover both the Masters and New Generation eras. It's called Robotech Homefront. And folks, if you've been on our Facebook page, you've been seeing some of the artwork. It is phenomenal. You're going to love it. So Macross Saga is available right now from Strange Machine Games, and they're going to follow up with Robotech Homefront. It should, depending on the supply chain issues, it should hopefully be out early next year. So.
Not it.
No, that's the Robotech Visual Archive.
No, I'm
Derek,
really trying to find it right now. Yeah, I'm
moving slow, Derek. Moving slow.
Oh, stuck in the past again, Derek. Are you stuck? Are you stuck 30 minutes?
This ain't it either, Derek. Come on.
So this is the Udon Entertainment site.
Yeah,
Kevin, while they're doing that, a guy went and looked. Jay in our chat squad, he went and looked. The one that you ported up to the Switch, it's the Robotech Macross Saga HD edition. Is that he's talking about the same one? We lost Kevin.
Uh-oh.
So
he's still here.
There he is.
There he is.
I don't know if you heard me, but the guy in the chat.
Kevin, your mic is muted.
Can you hear me now?
There you are.
Yep, we go.
All right. There we go.
I don't know if you heard me, but Jay was asking. He said he looked up on the Switch, and it's the Robotech Macross Saga HD edition. That's the game you're talking about, ported up to the Switch. Okay, just get that out there so that people listening can go find that game, so they can play it. Again, you buy the new stuff, they bring out more stuff. So go buy this game. It helps us get more out there. That's it.
Yep.
A lot of the people in the chat squad seem very, very interested in this Robotech stuff. So we wanted to keep moving. So go out there and spend some money. You know, just talk with your wallets. If you love it that much, go spend the money and get some more stuff for us.
Yep.
Okay, what's the next question?
Before we do that, let me show this real quick, because I'm sure people want
y'all
to see
bring
it.
that up.
Robotech,
y'all are
the Macross Saga HD edition on the Nintendo Switch. There it is right there. If you go to your Nintendo store and you got the Switch, you go to the store. That's it right there. $10.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
See you right there. All right.
Got
it. So yeah. So
let Dormammu rattle off one of his other ones, because he's
go for it, Dormammu.
Yeah. So talking
Dormammu's he's under contract, to do this thing. So we got to fulfill
short-term.
We got to fulfill our obligations to him right now. So let him go ahead and get his questions out the way before we get sued. Anyway,
hey, listen, my questions are not nearly as good as the chat squads tonight. They've been really bringing in. So we all appreciate that too.
Yes.
No, this is another adjacent property. Back in 2013-14, I thought there had been talk of a Lensman reboot. And does Harmony Gold still have that property or
Nope.
no?
Oh man.
Okay. See, there's another one.
Would it be easier questions to ask you which ones most people would tie to Harmony Gold that y'all don't have anymore? Is that
Well,
an
like
easier?
we have Robotech and
Mhm.
Macross, Southern Cross, and Mosquito. We have Shaka Zulu. You know, we have those, but that's pretty much it. Most of the anime from that time period, what's going to reverted back. So you know,
Gotcha.
it's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
No, it's all good. It actually kind of leads to one of the other adjacent questions, which was, do you guys still have an agreement still with Big West? Are there any plans being made for other tie-in things that are being produced for the future other than what we've talked about so far?
Well, let me warp the question a bit because you're touching. You mentioned Big West, so let's talk about what the agreement we have with them actually does. In April of 2021, we announced that we have an agreement with Big West to release the Macross sequels from 1987 to 2021. Now, Big West is responsible for releasing the Macross sequels from 1987 to 2021. Okay.
Okay.
Big West.
Yeah. So that's Big West. So like Macross 2, Macross Delta, Macross Plus, Macross 7, Macross 0. Big West is responsible for releasing those. So a lot of people have been asking us, well, where are the sequels? I say, folks, you have to go talk to Big West. Big West is handling the release of the Macross sequels from 1987 to 2021 as per our April 2021 agreement.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, no, that's great.
Yeah.
That's exactly what again, just kind of going through what I knew, what I remember, and what I know. And you mentioned about like filling in those blanks, and that really does help.
Yeah.
The only other question I personally had was, since you are going to these conventions, you obviously can see what the pulses of these things are, and obviously as collectors, we've been seeing the evolution of various Transformers and other merchandise, but particularly like RoboSen with their little auto converting pieces, the Optimus Prime, and all of that. In terms of like, since Robotech isn't just about the anime, it's also about the figures. Are there any designs maybe being worked on for like an auto converting Robotech or anything of that nature?
I can't comment.
He went big. He didn't ask for a toy. He
did not ask for a figure. Well, he asked you for the highest end possible toy you can get besides an actual Valkyrie.
Well, actually, hold it though. I mean, if you want to talk a very high end toy, Kids Logic has a 1200 SDF1 that lights up as a Bluetooth capable digital sound system. It stands over 3 feet tall.
Nice.
Yes. If you go to kidslogic.toys, you'll see it, and it's phenomenal. I've seen it in person. The photos do not do it justice.
Are these the same ones that were making the 1/12 figures that you were showing?
No, that's Kids Concept. That's Kids Concept.
Okay, gotcha.
Very cool. Very cool.
Ask them how much it would cost. Ask them how much it would cost for you to get a 1/1 scale Valkyrie.
Oh yeah,
you know you want to. You know you want to.
You know, just something to plan for the next apocalypse in case I need to drive a Valkyrie down the road.
Yep, there it is. You can see the 3 foot tall SDF1 right there. So
that's it on the second row.
Yep.
I had the old.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe Matchbox made them back in the day. It was the old big SDF1 that they made.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the photos here do not do this justice. How detailed it is, and we see it all lit up. It really is phenomenal. So
wow.
I remember when I was in Shanghai and Kenneth Can brought this to showcase, and I just said, Kenneth, I can't believe you actually built this. He goes, no, I built it. That's the way it is. We had to go make it go home. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
And it's 3 feet tall. You said.
Yep.
That is so only cool. What did it say? 600? That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's a really good price for a 3 foot tall figure. That
Yeah.
Look at that Blitzway.
Well, no. The price is $2,150. The deposit is $640.
Oh, that's the deposit there.
That's the deposit.
I was gonna say that 600 was a great price for a 3 foot tall figure. Man.
Right. Yeah.
Nice. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
But that's still
Yeah,
even
I think that's
2100 is
the
a
back
great
of
price.
it.
Deal.
That's the
Yeah.
back of it, I think.
That's I think that's the side of the leg.
That's
That's the side of
leg.
the.
That's the side of the
leg.
leg.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bananas, man. That is gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, once again, these photos don't do it justice. How detailed it is, and how just the quality of the materials, and just how it looks so beautiful, all lit up. And
Now, is it static or does it convert to another
no,
form?
it's static. It's a statue.
Got you. Wow, man, that's
It's a nice statue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not playing that down. That's beautiful. Wow.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. You really get that idea of scale for
Right.
sure.
Yeah. That's gorgeous.
That is awesome.
That's his arms.
Yeah. Did you look at that? That's a freaking helicarrier or a freaking aircraft
Right.
carrier.
That's his
Aircraft
left
First
carrier.
forearm. His
Yep.
forearm
It
Yeah.
is
lights up. You can't.
His forearm is
tell
the
the photos.
Nimitz.
So it's
Just
actually
like-
light.
lights
Lights
up.
up. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
My goodness.
That's fantastic.
This
God
thing is
bless.
massive too.
Yeah. Now, did you? I kind of accidentally brought it up because I misunderstood the company name. But did you want to talk on that, the 112 ones? Because those things were really cool to see. The other
The
figures.
Kits Concept. If you go to www.kitsconcept, KITZ concept.com. If you go there, Kits Concepts launched a new line of 112 scale figures, and these are some of the best Robotech action figures ever made. They're highly articulate. They have multiple faces. They have, it's really good stuff. I mean, here's some of them. They made the new Rick Hunter with the tuna version.
Tuna
By the
fish.
way, the Rick Hunter figure you see right there, his uniform is made of cloth.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's got soft
Yeah.
goods and everything.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. So
And these the Valkyries here on the bottom. These are the ones that were on display at BotCon.
that was from 3.0.
Those are the
3.0.
3.0 ones.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
That's gorgeous.
So, yeah, you can see how Cyrus Kits and here I told this story at BotCon. I think it's a good time to tell this now. How Kits Concept got the license was I was in Beijing, and I saw this super deformed version of the VF1, and I went, wait a minute, who's making this? So I went over to the dealer and I said, can I see that? They go, sure. Would you like to buy it? I say, well, no, you're using my company's design without our authorization. And like they're like they got so scared. They're like, oh,
did
no,
you hear him pucker up? Like immediately.
no. They're like, oh no. They go, hi, I'm Kevin McKeever from Harmony Gold. Let me properly introduce myself. I go, but wait, I'm not here to destroy you yet.
Mm-hmm.
I go.
Top of the
look,
word yet.
I go. Let me make you an offer you can't refuse. How would you? I go. This toy is good. How would you like a license to legally make these? And Kits Concept said, "Oh my God, we would love it." And now they're making their some of the best Robotech toys ever created.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, here it is, the God of Flame, which was a big hit at BotCon, which was a big hit when we announced this. Yeah, and it looks phenomenal. It's really good, and these are all sold out.
Dude, I'm having flashbacks to my childhood playing with this thing. God.
Looks familiar.
Remember the spring?
Fan.
I remember it had the spring loaded because I remember ripping up the bottom of my nail. The spring loaded landing gear.
Yep.
And
Yes.
Oh,
That
yeah.
thing that popped out in it.
Yep.
Pow.
If you didn't do it just right, it would catch you right on that nail bed right there, man.
Yep.
God, good
Hurt.
times, man. So many scars.
And you
from
see
that
though,
year.
it lights
die
up.
cast, yeah.
That is beautiful.
Nice LED lighting.
I want to ask you a question here. We've all talked about it a little bit, heard about it. Speaking of here, now we have the God of Flame up. There was a little hoopla a little while back with Harmony Gold and Hasbro. You don't have to get into too much detail, but just for those who were not at BotCon and might not have heard you go over it there, if you can just maybe touch on what happened there and where everything is at now.
Fill in those gaps and kill all that guessing that people do on the internet.
Well, here, let me just start at the beginning of the story, okay? And what we'll do. So a lot of people say, why does Hasbro have the VF1 in the early 1980s? How did this happen? Well, from what I've been told, and once again, I know Transformers fans are going to scream about this, but the basic idea of the original Transformers were the Autobots were cars and Decepticons were jets and could fly. So as Transformers took off, Hasbro wanted to find, from what I understand, wanted to find more cool transforming robot toys for the planes, for the Autobots. And they found a company called Takotoku who had the license to the VF1. And so they said, hey, this will make a good toy. And so Hasbro went to Tatsunoko, got it legally licensed, and they made it into Jetfire. But then, as we talked about before, the rights expired, and we brought out our version of Jetfire. And, that's pretty much the short version of that story.
Gotcha.
All right, Dormammu, do you have more questions in your chamber, or do we need to go some?
Mine are actually good right now. So let's go ahead and look at the chat squad.
No.
We actually got
while
a
we're
couple
closing
in here.
down,
So
Ash asked, "Did anybody ask about legend scale bots? Are y'all? I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but like legend scales being like the smaller. Right. Okay. Like, do y'all have plans to do any size like that?
Well, we have Toynami has the 3 and 3/4 inch action figures. Okay. So those are out. Wave 2 is out now. Wave 1 is sold out. Wave 2 is out now. Wave 3 is on the way. So Toynami's is making that scale of figure. It's a lower cost figure because we know people have different price points they can participate in. So we have a lower cost figure Toynami makes, and it's really good, and fans are pretty happy with them. Wave 2 is out now.
Is that just the human characters? Sorry.
Yeah, just the human characters. Yeah, yeah, human characters. Our friends at Super 7 have made a line of the reaction figures with some, which are like the actual fighters and battle pods and even SDF1. So
gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So we got a question here from I don't know if you guys asked it or not. Already another question from John. Any plans for a 1/1 scale Veritech fight helmets from the sagas? Lots of fans are really into collecting helmets from different properties.
Yeah. No comment at this time.
Oh, okay. You heard it here first. That wasn't a no.
Wasn't a yes, but it wasn't a no.
Love it.
We got a
wasn't
question
a no.
here from Jay Geeter. Does Arcadia also still have license for Macross? I have their figures in the 160 scale and the SDF one. The kit's concepts are too small for my collection.
You have to talk to Arcadia about that.
Okay. All right. So what is there?
Very cool.
Okay.
Oh no, that's one that's one I've been looking at for a minute now. It's just the
dark blue.
That one is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
this is
dark
the
blue colorway with the
Kids Concepts are doing some really nice variants of the VF1.
The dark blue with the fast pack armor, and these get the lighter features as well.
Yep.
All of them actually, all of them do. They have the same. Is that all of them have the same light up features, or is one set different from?
Nope. They all have the same light up features. The standard VF1J has it, including the sort of the collector's edition variants.
Gotcha. Okay, because y'all got it's a bunch. Yeah, these are so kissconcept.com is where you want to actually see the CDs, guys. And we're gonna I'll go ahead and give it to you, EE, so you can put it up. And there you go. But check out it's kidsconcepts.com where you can go and check out these products. And these just are freaking gorgeous. It's like, you're gonna find your color, the color that you want. If you're not into the story in general or just the lore in general, one of these just is gonna catch your eye. And you're gonna be like, "Yo, I want
the blacked
these.
out one or whatever." It was like black, and I think maybe had purple highlights or something like that. That one was absolutely dark, gorgeous.
Yeah, it's dark blue. It's not even black. I can't believe
it's like a midnight blue. Like that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I like that one.
And then the figure that you were talking about earlier, Kevin, that's the one with the cloth. This is literally cloth.
But if you scroll down further, you'll see they just look over there. The Max Sterling. Go back up.
Oh,
see
blue,
on the
blue
left.
to the right.
Max Sterling, right there.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Max's uniform is cloth as well.
Nice.
Wow.
So they're doing soft goods on all the 112 figures.
Yep.
Nice.
Very
Not
nice.
on all of them. Not on all of them.
Just
but
some of
the
them.
ones-
I got you.
Some of them, yeah. Like this one, that's a cloth. That the uniform.
That even looks like a cloth glove, dude. Look at that.
They are.
It is a
Those are
cloth
cloth.
glove.
Those
Yeah,
are
it
cloth
is.
gloves.
Wow.
That's nuts, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Because most
That
112
is,
companies,
yo.
they don't even bother with that. They do the soft goods on the clothes, and then the gloves will be plastic or rubber. That's really cool.
Or
Yeah.
it would be it would be the hand.
Cyrus-
It would be
Cyrus-
switchable hands.
Yeah, Cyrus Kits of Kits Concept. He is really he's great to work with, and I'm really glad we got him the license. And Cyrus really is adamant about making high quality toys. He really wants to make this and make it all and make it so you the fans really get good value for your money. I was telling him too. I was saying, Cyrus, I met him in Beijing. I said, Cyrus, this was great. I noticed the plastic, not the die cast, just the plastic is so good. He said, I really hate that cheap plastic. I want the higher quality plastics. And that's what he's doing. So
That's awesome.
I don't know if Lisa Hayes had the.
She looks like
it's like this is
no,
this,
she's
this
plastic.
Is, this is
Yeah,
not
she's
that's not that's plastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk about the elbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Right,
still
right.
a gorgeous figure, regardless.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah, all the rest
He's
of
done
these.
a
Okay,
great
so
job
these
with
are the only two cloth ones that Rick Hunter and
Yeah,
the
the Rick Hunter and the Max.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
far.
but the Lin-Min May looks really good. They're spot on for the characters for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Kits Concept put a lot of thought into these figures, so
Mm-hmm.
it's a good
Now-
middle range for fans and collectors.
Are there Valkyries have they been out for a while? Like they're available already? Or are these like pre-orders that they're making now? Like
Most of them are out.
Uh-huh.
A few of them are still just waiting for them to because of supply chain issues to come out. But most
Gotcha.
of them are out and available. So
got you. All right, cool. Now, have you handled any of this stuff? Like, do you get to? I know you said you're more into marketing, but do you get to handle them?
Go back down. Go back down. Click on the fast pack armor. The SD.
Yeah, I was gonna click on that. But
That's the click on that, please. That's the. I saw I have the prototype in my office, but if you click on the middle photo, yeah, there you go. That's what I saw. The prototype version in Shanghai. And
That's the one that
Rebels
drew your
SD,
attention.
Yeah, I looked, I felt it. I was shocked at how heavy it was because it had a lot of die-cast metal and this really good plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the prototype looks a little different than what you see here. But I told them, I said, look, this is a good toy. Let's get you guys a license, and that's how Cyrus got involved. So now, folks, I want to be very clear. This is not the way to get a license. Okay, don't think, I'll just start making Robotech toys and Harmony Gold will give you a license. No. Do not do that. That was
a
bad.
1 in a million shot. That doesn't work out every day.
That was like the waters parted. And to sort of tie into what I just said, if you want a license, contact us. We're always, our door is always open.
Right.
If you're an upstart toy company and you think you can make something good, we want to talk to you.
Good.
That's something. Our door is always open. We're always looking for new things. So once again, don't go the Kits Concept route. That was that was a 1 in a million. The water was the right
plan
place.
is just aligned. Yeah.
Everything just sort of lined up correctly at the time. But if you're a toy company, you want to do this, like, and just going a little further on this. Timothy Chasen, remember at BotCon is handing out that artwork.
Yeah,
that's fan art by Timothy Chasen. Timothy has a license to make fan art. He can go to any convention, set up a table, and sell Robotech fan art legally.
Gotcha.
How did he get his license?
Oh, you talking about those prints that like the prints that you gave me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He was on that back wall.
I had them with me. Those are some gorgeous prints too. Yeah.
And people are saying, well, how did he get the license? You know what he did? He contacted us and said, I want to get a license to make licensed fan art. How do I make that happen?
And how do people go about contacting you if they want to do something like this?
There's two ways you can do it. You can contact us through the Facebook page, or, which is actually better, because eventually, this is what I'm going to tell you. You email me, robotech@bankofkev.com. Robotech@bankofkev.com. And, our door's always open. Can't guarantee you'll get a license, But our
But you at
doors
least
always
talk
open.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're just going to talk about it, and that's how Timothy got his license. He
that's awesome.
reached out and he said, "How do I get a license?" And we said we walked him through it. And he has a license.
That's
Kevin,
cool.
can you in our private chat? Can you put the email address so I can
Yeah, hold
share it on the screen for everybody? I want to make sure
I won't
don't
log out.
misspell it.
I will not log out this time. So.
Eve, while
I
he's
was trying to do that, and that's
we
what happened.
got another question. I
you got
said
the
more
Bandai.
questions.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got I think this is your the official page, Facebook page for Robotech.
Yeah, facebook.com/Robotech.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's it.
But he's making a
All right,
banner up, so we're gonna put it on the screen.
Yeah, I'll put that up in
Cool,
a minute. Got another question from John. Any more info on? Wait, did we do that one already? Right?
No, we didn't do that one yet.
No, you didn't do that
No,
one
no,
yet.
no.
John's been loaded with questions. He's obviously a fan. He's got some
Kevin,
serious
any more
questions.
info on the
And we
upcoming
appreciate it.
Cyclone and Transformable Alpha Fighter that was shown this year?
Yes, I don't know how much you know, John, so I apologize if you know this already. But Toonami's releasing like an 8. It's almost 2 feet tall, fully transformable Alpha Fighter.
Mhm.
And so the Cyclones are actually available right now. They're the Cyclones are available. They fully transform. And here's the thing: the Cyclones that are available from Toonami, the transforming Cyclones, will be able to interact with the 2 foot tall Alpha Fighter.
That was the bike, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You should be able to collapse the Cyclone and put it into the Cyclone compartment. And the figure that you have should be able to pilot the Alpha Fighter. That's George's goal, is to have those interact with the new large Alpha Fighter.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember you talking about those at BotCon. That's one where you're gonna fold it up and one goes like on the back and one on the
Yep.
Okay. That's awesome.
The Cyclones are available right now. The Scott Bernard, Rand, and Lancer are available right now from Toonami.
Toonami, that's where they go to get those?
Go to Toonami shop.
Okay. Toonami shop. That's awesome.
Fantastic.
The one. Okay, they're showing that.
Yeah.
The one I was talking about was the Bandai one.
1 second. 1 second.
Okay, you're good, bud. I was just letting you know which one because he's had questions, so it got buried a little.
Got buried a little.
It's right above Brink.
So being so involved with marketing for media, for figures, how do you manage all the spinning plates?
It's a lot of it's second nature. I know it's going to sound a little odd, but a lot of it's second nature. I mean, it's like the hardest part was getting the Facebook page and the Twitter feed up and running, and consistently tweeting and posting on Facebook and Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And just getting it up and running, getting the content transferred over. It just took a long time, but now we're up and running. It's just so second nature. You know what to do. You know when conditions warrant, when to pull back, when to go really pile it on. It's a little. It's because you have this momentum now. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. So it makes it much easier. Where if you just sort of from a stop and trying to get it up and running, it would be a nightmare. But because everything's just running now, so when new things come in, we call it put into rotation. We just put them into the rotation and off we go. And there's so much stuff now. We're posting 24 hours a day because there's just so much merchandise and just information available that we have to post 24 hours a day just to keep up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so here's the Twitter feed. Yeah. So what's the next question?
Do you find that prior question?
Yeah. Remember, I'm one person here today, so
yeah, I know. Sorry.
You don't got Gort to help me out. Here we go. Bandai has done wonderful mecha for the Macros line. Any plans to join with Bandai to make new mecha?
Our door is always open.
Heard.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, come on. Kevin is taking time out of his life, and
Real quick,
he's
just
very
a
open to answering. So give us some questions if you got them, because once he's gone,
real
he's gone.
quick.
You'll have to hunt him down
Just
on his
wanted to
email.
show this neighbor. This is for you.
Yep.
I call
He
it
said
the,
this
I
is the
call it the
one
deep
he's
purple
been.
variant.
Yeah,
Yep.
He'll buy
yeah.
that.
He
He'll end
said
up
he's
buying
fiending
that.
or whatever. I said, let me help you out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. He'll have that
Operators
one.
are
Yeah.
operators are standing by.
He'll have that one, and I'll have that, midnight blue one. We'll get out in the backyard and play with them.
So we have another question here from Ash Bailey. Is there any way the original Veritech mold that caused the whole Transformers issue to be re-released, maybe even in different colors and decos?
Well, that particular mold is owned by Bandai.
Mm.
So, because Bandai bought Takotoku years ago, and they have that particular mold. But Kiss Concept, as you can see here on the screen, they're making they have a new mold, and it's outstanding, and the quality is great, and it's really good stuff. But a lot of people, I'm gonna Ash, going to take your question and kind of what's going to warp it around a bit. A lot of people say, why is this stuff so expensive? When Jetfire came out, it was only $25, and I got the fully transformable fighter and the fast packs. But now we're seeing this stuff that's costing $150, $200. Why is it so expensive? Well, first off, a couple of things. Number one, the cost. Well, no, yeah, but in 1985, the cost of oil was $6 per barrel.
Wow.
Today, it's like 90.
God
okay.
Bless.
Yeah. All right. Also, the US dollar back in 1985, $1 bought you 240 Japanese yen.
Mm.
Today, it only buys you, now it's rebound somewhat, but it can only buy you maybe 140 Japanese yen.
Yeah.
So you can see, just give you a few ideas of what it takes, the larger economic issues we have to deal with. Remember, as I said before, it's show business with an emphasis on business. And just to give you an idea how far afield it can go, where you're now into the realms of international currency exchange and the cost of energy. And those things have a direct effect on the franchise. Not just ours, but also others as well.
Yeah.
All right. We got a question here from the neighbor. Back to the 2 foot tall alphas. Do you know if they will be offered in different colorways? If Scott Bernard, Lancer, Rand, the red one that the girl from that cartoon had?
No comment yet. Stay tuned.
Hey.
Ooh.
That's not a no. That's probably my favorite answer. That's even better than yes. That's not a no. It's even better than yes. I love that. That's awesome.
Nice.
I got a question for you, since we've been talking a
Yes.
little bit about licensing and things like that. As you said yourself, you saw Kids Concept just one day. Like, how do you guys normally handle what we like to call third party with because
I know.
being a Transformers fan,
Yeah, and
we see it a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
I know you guys see it a lot. As I said before, what Kids Concept did, I ask you all, do not repeat.
No.
Because that we'd shut you down, is what we would have to do.
Yeah.
If you want a license, contact us.
Yeah.
If we have people from China and Hong Kong contacting us all the time. We want to do licensing. Great, let's talk. You're in Japan, you want a license to sell your stuff internationally, by all means, contact us. We'd love to talk to you. Are you in Latin America, want a license for Robotech? We'd love to talk to you. Europe, the same thing. It's our door is, as I said before, our door is always open. Robotech@bankofkev.com. Email me, I'll get you to the right people. And Kids Concept is a good example. Timothy Chasen, again, is another good example. Carlos Pozo from Mep Toys. His license expired not because we didn't like him. We loved him. He did great work, but he just ran into supply chain issues. He said, I can't do it. We said, Carlos, our door is always open. If you decide you want to come back, we'd love to talk to you. And that's how Carlos said, I want to make toys. but I want to make obscure toys like the Bad Guys, which usually, believe it or not, don't sell as well. And we said, sure, Carlos, let's work out a deal, and that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Contact us. Our door is open. We want to. Now, there's no guarantee, as I said before, we'll come to a deal, but if you contact us, we'll see if we can come to a deal. The problem becomes, and this ties back into the larger issues that have happened before, is when people try to go around us. Don't do that. That's bad.
Right. Right.
Contact us. We're ready to talk. And you'll be given a fair hearing. And sometimes some people don't get licenses for various reasons, but others do. But if you don't contact us, I guarantee you won't get a license, and then you'll be in. Well, I have to be sadly very honest here. I say unpopular things. You're a pirate in essence, and that's not criticism. I'm not being critical of those third parties. I've met some of them. They're very good people when I was over in China, but look, you are in violation of copyright. I mean, and we as Harmony Gold have to protect our copyright law. People don't know this. Going to go a little further afield here into copyright law, but U.S. copyright law is such that it's use it or lose it. You have to defend it. If you don't defend it, you lose your copyright. And that's the thing. And it's not just us that has to do it. Every other company does that. Every other company does that. I promise you, they do. They do that. Because they have to. Go ahead.
I'm curious, so. I won't name any company names today.
Please.
But
let's not say any names. Yes.
No,
we're not spilling tea.
There are some out there that have kind of been around for a while now.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, what is it that makes them able to survive this long without getting shut down? If you have any idea,
I can't comment. I cannot comment on that. I'm not at liberty to comment on that.
All right.
All right.
I actually did have a question. We got another one in the chat, but I
Yeah.
did have a question.
Go ahead, Dom. Go ahead, Mama.
Sorry. With the anniversary coming up for Robotech, I know you probably have a lot of contact with from the original animators or from some of the talent that's done amazing, all the voice work. Are there plans on doing any type of anniversary type specials or any type of, since you mentioned also Fathom events? I know in the past there have been concert performances from orchestras for the music from I
can't comment at this time, but I will say this. People Dormer, I'm going to take your question and once again warp it around a bit because I get asked this a lot.
Yeah.
Say, well, will there be a specific Robotech convention? And I'll be perfectly honest with you. The economics of that are exceedingly difficult. Look at even BotCon. BotCon wanted to bring it because they wanted to expand. They brought in Harmony Gold as that BotCon. And once again, Hanny has to make. Remember, it's show business with an emphasis, particularly in live events, an emphasis on business. Doing a standalone Robotech event like a convention is very, very, the numbers are very, very difficult. And if you notice, we don't have Robotech conventions or Naruto conventions or Sailor Moon conventions. We have anime conventions with it's like a buffet, which again, I think that's actually better because it allows people to do stuff, and actually it makes the numbers work. You can't do it. The last real sort of standalone convention, which actually had some national clout, was Twilight.
Wow.
But even then, Creation had to issue a no refund policy. And
really,
and that was at the height of the Twilight franchise when the movies were coming out.
Yeah.
But the numbers are such, as someone who's run special events for decades, the numbers are such that to do it by yourself, to do it as a standalone one IP property, are just not there to make it what fans expect now. They want big dealer rooms, they want lots of guests, and I agree with you. I want to give you, and I think that's good, but the numbers just simply do not work. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
I feel I feel like that answer is correct, but it's also been very advantageous because if we look at the last 15 years where anime has made such a, I don't want to call it a reinvention because of the popularity of series, like you mentioned, where it might be Naruto, it might be Sailor Moon,
Right.
it might be a different property that's, or any of those properties that's propelled anime back into the foray. That's really kind of helped out what you were trying to do for Robotech as a franchise and get that visibility back to the fans and to new people who become fans.
Yes.
So I think it definitely has helped in terms of where what you're doing is basically just it's reinventing to people that have not had the opportunity to experience Robotech.
Actually, I'm glad you brought this up because a lot of people say, "Oh, Kevin, it's all just a bunch of old people going to Robotech panels." No, it's not.
No, it ain't.
I can't tell
Derek,
you
you're
how
old.
many-
Relax.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've been to so many conventions and we've had people say, "I was just looking for a place to sit down. I came into your panel because I just wanted to sit down. I watched your panel. I'm now a fan. Where do I go watch the show?"
Yeah.
That happens a lot more than you think, and that's why having Robotech at the shows is so important. Because once again, we talked about this before. Robotech does have this controversial aspect for it. Whether or not the controversy is valid is a different story, but it's there. The controversy drives interest, and people come in and they well, I heard about this Robotech thing. People are always talking about it. It gets people all riled up. Well, what is it? Well, there's a panel. I'll go sit down and see for myself. And people have told me, Kevin, we've seen your panels, and I'm now watching the show, and the show is great because I came in there and saw a panel. That's why it's so important for you, it's just for not just for Robotech and Harmony Gold, but for any IP to have the presence at these shows, because that allows you to reach not only your hardcore fan base, but also other people who may not be aware of the show or may have a vague idea of the show. Once again, going back to BotCon, look at all the great questions we got about Jetfire and about the third-party licensing and about, things you didn't know that you learned about that. And that was, and once again, going to BotCon was a great Grand Slam home run. Once again, Hanny, who got the IP of BotCon and brought it back, deserves tremendous credit for the convention he has run, because BotCon was outstanding. I remember it was Friday. I was Derek. I think I grabbed you and said, "Derek, this feels like a Saturday. There's so many people in that group."
Yeah.
And and then Saturday was just insane. Even Sunday felt like a Saturday because there were so many people. And guess what? Everyone was happy. And that's really important, to be at these shows and make your presence felt. Then that's a good way to do it. So
awesome.
Indeed.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm done. So next question. So.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
So we got another question here from John. With the old Matchbox line making the extremely rare STF1 playset, would you guys consider any kind of crowdfunding platform to make a new playset for the Robotech franchise? Crowdfunding seems to be the new in thing lately.
Well, crowdfunding, has its ups and its downs.
There it is.
So, we've had some success with crowdfunding. We also have had some issues with crowdfunding. I don't want to go into it, but I'm sure if those listening kind of know what I'm talking about here. So, I mean, we would prefer a license to make it on their own. You got tooling and whatnot, and go off and make the product. Once again, though, how much of a market is there for that? I know a lot of people love the STF1 playset, but here's the thing: is there a large enough market to justify the development, the design, the tooling, and the manufacturing and the distribution of that item, so the license makes a profit?
Okay.
See, once again, it's show business. With an
emphasis on business.
Those are some of the big. That's the biggest driver. So
awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, so okay, I got that's all the questions that we had in regards to that. Kevin, was there anything else you wanted to cover or go over, or anything you wanted to, plug or even plug or anything like that?
Well, I've been plugging everything all night here.
That's what we're here for. We're literally here for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there is one thing I want to sort of bring up, because Derek, I mentioned this to you. I think it's you as well. You often go on Twitter, which is, ladies and gentlemen, spoiler, is not real life.
Yeah,
and you often see all this anger and hostility. But when I came to BotCon, there was no anger, no hostility. It was, and it's going to sound very sappy and almost cheesy, but there's a lot of love in that room. Yeah. It really was great. Yeah. The questions were outstanding. Even the questions about Jetfire, they weren't hostile. They were just curious, and they were good questions too. And I'm very glad they were asked. Yeah. And this idea that, well, it's Robotech or Transformers. Using our friends at Voltron, for example. No, I said friends at Voltron. Mm-hmm. We always say, when we've done joint panels with our friends at World Events, Bob Koplar is a friend, and we always tell the fans, it's not Robotech or Voltron or Robotech. It's Robotech and Voltron. Mm-hmm. It's Voltron and Robotech. You don't get to choose. You as a fan get both.
Yep.
Yeah. That's transforming robots or transforming robots.
Yes, and that's our view. Now we have to protect our copyright, just like our friends at the other company. Have to protect their copyrights as well. We totally understand that. But it's not an either or. It can be both. And I'm really glad to have gone to BotCon and meet the fans, and it cleared up as we talked about this during the panel. We filled in a lot of those blanks with real hardcore information.
Really did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's the key thing. And that's why I was really grateful we were able to finally be able to get together and do this, because we were able to reach out to talk to a lot of the Transformers fans and say, hey, look, guys, come on over. Robotech.com. Our door is open. Not just to licensing, but to you guys as fans. Mm-hmm. We'd love to have you. Our view, and having looked at the demographics and ratings and for years, there's such a crossover. It's hard to I always say it's hard to tell where one fandom ends and the other begins, because there's such a level of crossover. And come on down. We love to have you. You love Optimus Prime. Guess what? I do too. I can actually tell you a good little Transformers story. When in 2006, when we were taking Robotech to film festivals, I mentioned this before, we went to the Asian Animation Film Festival in Chicago, where the legendary director Nelson Shin received an award.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he screened one of his films, which was a wonderful film. I can't remember. Nelson, if you're listening, I apologize for forgetting it, because it was really good. And here we were going to stream Shadow Chronicles at the same festival. And I have a photo of Tommy Yoon and Nelson Shin standing together. And it was really cool to have meals with Nelson Shin. And it was whatever, we consider Nelson a friend. And it's great. We consider, as I said before, we consider our friends at Voltron, people at World Events. They're our friends.
Bob Koplar,
yeah, Bob Koplar, he's wonderful. Tiffany Alardi, outstanding. Jeremy Correa, wonderful people. The Voltron fans have been great. It's such great when I remember Bob Koplar and I did the New York Comic Con panel in 2014 together, and it was just a rocket. We turned it, the Robotech panel turned into a party. It was great, and Robotech and Voltron fans were having a blast. And Bob came up to me, this was so much fun. Oh my god, it was great. You have to protect copyright. Companies have to do that because of the way the U.S. copyright laws are. But we want to have good relations, and we want our doors always open to fans to come on over. It's not what you think. And there you go. And once again, our panels are always open. You have a question, ask it. I will do my best to answer it. And sometimes I don't know the answer, but I will go find people who do.
Right. Yep.
As I said before. So come on open. Our doors always open. So
I got a comment here from Brian Brink. Not really a question. I'm so glad you guys are working with 3.0. I'm finally going to be able to easily acquire a nice set of Veritex for an attractive price point.
You're really going to like the 3.0 Veritex. And Derek, you remember you handled the 3.0 Veritex. So Derek, please, before people think I'm just shilling, Derek, feel free to chime in here because you actually handled it. And,
so the pieces, I'm still trying to get a set. Yeah, that's how bad I do want it, because I do want to display that, and it felt like it felt, it felt like I had the original one in my hand. It gave me those feels once again.
Right.
But having a Veritech in your collection is not a bad thing to have. These pieces were gorgeous. I mean, they glowed. They damn near glowed in my hand. You know how you feel it? You get that aura feel. You got, oh, that's how that felt. That's how that felt.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, if y'all were at BotCon, y'all saw them
Yeah,
too.
I was
So
there. I was there. I was
it
there.
was
I put my hands on it when you guys let me when Hanny opened the case and said, "Yeah, go
Yep.
ahead." So
Mhm. Hey, yeah, not everybody got to do that though.
yeah, I
It
know.
was just
Yeah,
like,
not everyone
I
gets
yeah,
to
lucky.
do
it
I
that.
got
was
lucky.
very few
I was there
people
at
that
the right
did that.
time.
Kids,
Right
don't try
place,
that
right
at
Yeah, he
time.
home.
was there at the right time. 'Cause
Yeah.
he was like, all right, and now
I
lock.
do have
Shut
a
up. It's
quick
shut the
question
door
about
now.
the 3.0. Are
Yeah.
there? I know there's a couple colorways coming, right? Are there
Mhm.
plans with 3.0 to do any other things besides Veritech, or you cannot comment either?
Stay tuned.
Stay
That's
tuned.
not a
There you
no.
go.
Ooh,
Perfect.
that's not a no.
Perfect.
I love it. I
Um,
love it. I love it.
we're kind of
Yeah.
running out of questions here. This might be a good question, last question for the night. This one is from the neighbor again. Is there anything for 2025 that's coming for Robotech that you can tease or disclose?
Well, there's a
Everybody
lot of
lean in
stuff.
close.
Okay. There's a lot of stuff in the pipeline. We have the comics out, the new comic line out. We have the Robotech Homefront coming out. There's a lot of things in the pipeline I can't go into yet, but there's a lot of licensing happening. We have our partnership with Crunchyroll and Sony, and as you can see, this is probably some of the biggest amount of Robotech merchandise to come out since the 1980s at the height, when it first came out. And this is some of the best Robotech merchandise we've seen since it first came out. So I can't go into specifics, but there's a lot more on the way. As I said before, our friends at Sony and our friends at Crunchyroll, they view Robotech as a flagship property. So there's a lot
Okay.
there's a
Yeah.
lot on the way.
Right.
Awesome.
It's got to go through approval processes and all that other stuff. So there's a lot of
Of
stuff I
course.
can't tell you yet until it's ready to be shown. So
Okay.
Stay tuned.
just
All right. Well,
stay tuned. That's the only
hey,
thing.
It's
I will
not a
say
no,
this.
and stay tuned. These are tattoos that
Yes.
we all need at this point.
Yes.
It's not a
The
no.
best
Stay
is
tuned,
yet
'cause
to come.
I'm loving it.
There you
That's it. I
go.
like that one
Awesome.
Hey,
too.
That's
I
good.
tell you what, Kevin, when you're ready to talk more, when you're able to talk more about it and are ready to talk more about it, let us know and come on back on here. We can go over it all over
Yeah.
again.
I
Okay.
mean, we wouldn't even
We
be
can
mad if you
definitely.
want to do it an exclusive reveal on this show. You come over here and drop it
Hey,
here first. Let
hey,
everybody else catch up, man.
that's what's,
That's
yeah.
let
We
them
would
Yeah.
play
love
catch
that.
up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have to
Yep.
say, we met at BotCon. This is
Yeah.
a little behind the curtains. Usually when I talk to people in businesses, my bullshit radar is pinging the whole entire time. And I have to say it was an absolute pleasure to talk to Kevin, because he didn't get mealy mouthed, he didn't loop, he didn't try to say anything to twist me around and not understand what he was saying. And he just said, look, you guys want me to come on and talk? Anything.
Yeah.
If I can't tell you,
Yeah.
I'll tell you I can't tell you.
Yeah.
If I can tell you, I'm not gonna hold back. I've people told me I say too much and I need to start filtering stuff. So I love the fact that even came through tonight. Like, it was really
Yeah.
nice to see that you're like that off camera. So it was great
yeah.
to see that came through too,
It's,
man.
it's my job to say unpopular things, as
Yes.
stealing that good line from Tommy that he made. And that's the thing, though. I mean, I've often told fans, Robotech fans, not forget the Macross players for a second. I mean, the Robotech fans, I told
Yeah.
popular things. That's the thing, though. I mean, Mary Davis, who founded the legendary Akon anime convention, she said she saw me at Dragon Con, and she's like, Kevin, I have to have you at my show, because I love how you tell fans how things really are, not the way they perceive it.
That's it.
And that's really key, even if it may irk them. And that's the key. That's the key thing too, is that now, folks, I'm glad Ricky, I'm so go a little further what you tied up here. In Hollywood, things can change on a dime.
Yep.
Sometimes your best laid plans can fall apart. And people don't quite realize that. Going back to the animated content for a moment, think of a film, television show, animation, live action, whatever you want. Think of a line of 10,000 people. And on that line, every single one of those 10,000 people has to say yes for the show, movie, whatever you want to get made. If one person says no, the whole thing falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why sometimes we have plans and things fall apart because all of a sudden everyone said yes, and then at the last minute that one person said no, and then boom, so things, those things happen, and that's the way it is sometimes with Hollywood. Yeah. So I mean, that's how it is often, and it's just the way things are sometimes. So, and believe me, sometimes, and those who remember me from the Robotech.com forums will know when I get angry, it's like, what are you doing? But sometimes that does happen. So
okay, yeah.
So that's why I try not to, if you're part of my language, I try not to bullshit anyone. I tell people the truth, even when they don't like it. And
which is why I actually was looking forward to this. I even told them, like, I'll tell you, after you left away, I was like, because at first they're like, what about this guy? We're talking to you, and then you walked away, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of like him. Yeah, I don't feel like he was blowing smoke up my ass. I feel like he was 100% honest with his stuff. So I do appreciate.
Well, we got to talk in a very informal setting that night after the show. A little party going on.
Surrounded by tons and tons of Transformers toys. It was quite interesting to be in that. It's just they sort of, people are wondering what we're talking about. For BotCon at the hotel, not at the actual convention.
At the hotel.
The lobby in the evening became a Transformers swap meet with alcohol.
Right.
That happens about every TFCon.
That's every show.
It was happening here.
Yeah, that's every con actually. So it's like,
and it was just very fascinating to sit down and talk with you guys, where you had all these sort of people sort of exchanging toys, Galvatron with a broken arm and a red alert with the ladder and all this other stuff. And here we were talking, and it started. And Derek and Ricky, I think you were there. We were there. They started explaining.
The
rights issues. And as I told you guys, look, here's what's really going on. And so we talked about it tonight. Look, Harmony Gold does have the sequel and derivative rights. There you go. And here's what the arbitration ruling actually says. And stuff like that. And it was just like, here's what's really going on. Here's the real story behind Jetfire. And, as I mentioned to you guys earlier here on the show, and it was just nice to be able to once again talk while people were drinking and swapping Transformers toys. It was just one of those unique experiences. I remember Robbie Musso said, "This is part of BotCon." I go, "Yeah, you're absolutely right, Robbie." And once again, Robbie Musso deserves a tremendous amount of credit because I reached out to him.
Robbie's that dude, yeah.
I said, "Robbie, I'd love to. Be great to bring Robotech to BotCon. Do you know anyone there?" He said, "I'll hook you up with Hanny." And Robbie, who started this, and Hanny also deserves a tremendous amount of credit for taking something of a risk, where he had no idea what was going to happen. We're like, oh my God, Harmony Gold is going to show up at a Transformers convention. You remember the online Twitter reaction, which once again, folks, is not real life.
Yeah, sharks and jets.
Sharks and jets. And then, but at the show, it was completely different.
It wasn't.
Yeah. Well, like you said, like Twitter's not real life, but a lot of us, I mean, all of us here, I think, collect Transformers, but I don't only collect Transformers,
Right.
So every, as we're, that whole '80s nostalgia collectors thing, the fans that actually go to these things, they're not the ones that are complaining and doing the fake Twitter outrage. They're not the ones doing that.
We're multifaceted nerds.
Yeah, I have a Voltron. I have a Voltron on my shelf. I have Transformers, He-Man, GI Joe.
This is why we are the realm of collectors. We are the realm of collectors. We collect literally a broad range of everything, a lot of everything. So when we get on here to talk about the stuff,
interests,
so these things they get us to this point,
But I did want to say thank you, Kevin. Like it was it was great. This has been like that went by. Like we weren't like again behind the scenes, we weren't even sure it was gonna make are we gonna be able to make this go a full hour? Like, is this thing even gonna are we gonna have traction? Here we are 2 hours into it. Like, I mean, this was awesome, man. Like
there's lots of blanks to fill in. I appreciate the opportunity to fill in the blanks. Because I mean, how many times, and I hate to use this word, but
You're in a safe space, Kevin. You're in a safe space.
No. I was going to say, how many times have you seen misinformation? But I think more wrong information because people just filled in the blanks.
Yep.
Using, as we said before, speculation as fact. And here it's nice to be able to take this time and explain. Here's what's really going on.
Yeah.
Here's how it really is. As I said before, show business with an emphasis on business.
Yep.
And the other thing I like to say too is Hollywood is an industry built entirely around relationships.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. We'd like to thank you, Kevin, for being our special guest tonight.
Very much.
Kevin McKeever, everyone. And if, like I said, we put up his information and all of that. So if you have any other questions, we're gonna actually get you to join the group, man. So we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But
I have a feeling
we'll
I'll
talk about that offline. We're gonna talk about that offline. Yeah. Definitely.
You gotta come back. You gotta come back.
I'm already telling you that now. So yeah.
and we appreciate you staying. Coming here tonight, talking with us, listening to my questions. Everybody else that's joined on from our chat groups, from our chat squad. We appreciate the chat squad. But really, thank you very much. Like, again, personally, like am I a collector, but I'm also a longtime fan of the work that Harmony Gold has put out in Robotech and everything else. And so this was definitely a delight to be able to ask those questions and talk.
Yeah. So if you want to put this up in the chat, you can always find us at robotech.com, facebook.com/robotech, and twitter.com/robotech news. So that's where, all the three things. We'd love to have you. Love being on the show. It was great. Hopefully we'll come back and do this all again very soon. Okay.
Indeed,
yes, sir. Thank you, Kevin, again, bud.
Thank you, Kevin. And you literally just told us where we can find you and get more information on Robotech and Harmony Gold and Kids Concept. Not only Kids Concepts, but also Kids Logic. Toys. KidsLogic.toys. If you go back and watch the show, everyone, you'll be able to see every link that we've been made available to everyone as far as all the information is concerned. Kevin, thank you so much for coming on. We would love to have you back on, and please don't be a stranger to us. Come into the group and you just get a feel for who we are. So we're gonna go ahead and then start rolling out of here. Ricky, tell us where we can find you.
I'm at every other Friday here. Not here. I'm in the Facebook groups, doing the videos for Nerd Rage. And if I'm not doing any of those things, I'm out coaching my kids' baseball team or doing travel ball. So
there you go.
That's pretty much it.
Dormammu.
You could find me in the Realm of Collectors, Robert Janez. You can find me mostly in the chat squad, talking with you guys on Mondays and the occasional Fridays and some of the other shows. Sometimes I do a podcast with this guy up here, Ricky, called the Now You Made It Awkward podcast. E?
Yeah, you guys can pretty much find me here every other Friday. I'm in the Facebook group. I'm on Instagram, but I don't post on Instagram, so you probably don't want anyone to follow me there. And yeah, you'll see me in the chat squads on the Monday night show and the Wednesday night shows and our after hour hangouts.
That's it. Thanks again, Kevin. Yeah.
You're welcome. Eric, thanks for having me.
All right, you can find me. Look at you. Here we go. Kevin, this is the part where I tell everybody where I'm at. Might want to turn your volume down. So you can find me, your boy Derek B, on your Book of Faces. You can also find me on Instagram as Derek What B. You can also find me here every other Friday for the Realmhattan Project. You can also see me on our pop-up shows such as Do You Even Transform, Bro? Or the Right Out the Box. Make sure you check us out during the week on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Mondays, we have ETR, Into the Realm. Wednesdays, we have either Shelf Gravy or Figure Banging. And on Fridays, you find us here every other Friday. Oftentimes, we will also host a unbroadcasted hangout as well. So look out in the Realm group for that link when it comes up, and feel free to join in to the conversation offline. We may even do one tonight. I'm not even sure. I don't know if we're gonna be doing that.
I don't know.
We-
I gotta see. Everybody's like on assignment today, either TFCon or other
Yeah.
places. So we'll see.
All right. And if we do have one, Kevin, feel free to join us. Join in and just.
My schedule allows, but
Yeah.
as you guys know, my schedule's crazy. So
Yeah. No, this is because usually it happens right after the show, so we'll do it offline. It's offline, of course. So you
It's
can
unaired,
say
unbroadcasted.
no one's recording anything or anything like that. So yeah.
What usually happens,
yeah.
Cat Squad will actually be able to come in and get on video and talk with whoever's in there and stuff. Is usually how that plays.
Right. And then we have no keyboard warriors here. So yeah. So
You can say bullshit,
hey,
not a
Kevin. Yep. Kevin, thank you so much for being on. Was there anything else you wanted to say?
All good. Thanks for having me on. And once again, thanks to all the fans for watching. And we'll hopefully do this again sometime really soon.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, everybody. Chat Squad, everybody that's watching this playback. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see y'all in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Eric, let's go.
Say it with me now. Round.